Have you ever stopped to wonder why, despite all the medical advancements and health advice, so many wonderful people just like us don't seem to make it much past 80? It's a question that weighs on a lot of minds, especially as we navigate these golden years. We often hear about diet and exercise, and yes, those are important. But what if there's something deeper, something less obvious at play, something that might be quietly chipping away at our years? Even when we think we're doing everything right, it's a painful reality, isn't it? To see friends and loved ones start to fade, to lose their sparkle, or to simply not be here anymore. When we feel there was so much more life for them to live, we dream of vibrant, fulfilling years, filled with laughter, independence, and the joy of watching our families grow. But for many, that dream seems to hit an invisible wall right around their late 70s or early 80s. What if I told you there are 5 surprising reasons, not always talked about, that could be holding people back from living truly long, healthy, and joyful lives well beyond that age? These aren't the usual suspects you might expect, but rather subtle, yet powerful forces impacting our longevity. In this video, we're going to dive deep into these 5 unexpected factors that quietly undermine our health and vitality, preventing many from reaching their full potential for a long and vibrant life. And trust me, you'll want to watch all the way to the end, because there's something coming that might truly surprise you and change the way you think about aging. So, let's dive right into the first surprising reason, one that might seem more about the spirit than the body, but profoundly impacts our physical well-being. It's the quiet erosion of a sense of purpose. Many of us, after years of working, raising families, or caring for others, suddenly find ourselves in a phase of life where those defined roles start to fade. Retirement arrives, children grow up and move on, or perhaps we lose a spouse or dear friends. And while this newfound freedom can be wonderful, for some, it leaves a void. That feeling of being needed, of having a routine, of contributing, starts to diminish. This isn't just about feeling a bit bored. It's about losing that internal compass, that spark that gets us out of bed in the morning with enthusiasm. When we lose our sense of purpose, our brains, our very bodies, can start to subtly shut down. Think about it. If you don't feel like you have a reason to get up, to engage, to strive, what motivation is there for your body to keep fighting, to keep healing, to keep thriving? Studies have actually shown that people with a strong sense of purpose live longer, healthier lives. They have lower rates of heart disease, stroke, and even Alzheimer's. It's almost as if purpose acts as an invisible shield, boosting our resilience against the wear and tear of aging. Without it, loneliness can creep in, leading to depression, which in turn weakens our immune system, increases inflammation, and just makes us more susceptible to illness. Our bodies respond to our minds, and a mind adrift can signal the body to slow down, to prepare for less. So, what can we do about this? It's about rediscovering or creating a new sense of meaning. It doesn't have to be grand. It could be volunteering at a local charity, joining a club, learning a new language or skill, perhaps painting, playing an instrument, or even mastering a new recipe every week. It could be mentoring someone younger, starting a small garden, or taking on the role of family storyteller. The key is finding something that ignites your passion, gives you a reason to engage, to learn, to grow, and to feel connected to something larger than yourself. Think about my friend, Margaret. When her husband passed away, she felt utterly lost. Her life had revolved around their shared routines. But then, her granddaughter asked for help with her school reading, and Margaret started volunteering at the local library, reading to children a few times a week. That small act of service, that feeling of being needed by those little ones, completely transformed her outlook. Her energy returned. She started socializing with other volunteers, And her doctor even noted improvements in her blood pressure. It was her renewed purpose that truly breathed new life into her. Now, let's move on to our second surprising reason. And this one is so deceptively simple, yet incredibly widespread in damaging chronic dehydration. You might be thinking, I drink water, I'm fine. But the truth is, as we age, our body's ability to regulate fluid balance changes. Our sense of thirst diminishes, meaning we often don't feel thirsty until we're already quite dehydrated. Our kidneys become less efficient at conserving water, and some medications can also act as diuretics, making us lose more fluid. Many of us simply aren't drinking enough, and we don't even realize it. Imagine your body like a car engine. Water is the oil that keeps everything running smoothly. Without enough of it, the engine overheats, parts grind, and things start to break down. For our bodies, chronic dehydration manifests in a myriad of ways. Persistent fatigue, often mistaken for just getting old. Brain fog, making it harder to concentrate or remember things. Headaches, constipation and digestive issues. Joint pain, because cartilage needs water to stay lubricated, and even dangerously impacting blood pressure and kidney function. Dehydration can make you feel weak, dizzy, and can significantly increase your risk of falls. It can even make your skin look older and less supple. It's a silent, insidious drain on our vitality. So, how do we combat this invisible enemy? The simple answer is to drink more water. But it's about being strategic. Aim for at least 8 glasses of water a day. And more if you're active or it's hot. Don't wait until you feel thirsty. Start your day with a big glass of water. Keep a water bottle handy throughout the day. Refill it often, and sip on it consistently. Try adding a squeeze of lemon or cucumber for flavor if plain water feels boring. And remember, not all fluids count equally. Sugary drinks, coffee, and alcohol can actually dehydrate you further. Think about incorporating water-rich foods into your diet too. Fruits like watermelon, oranges, and berries, and vegetables like cucumber, celery, and lettuce are excellent sources of hydration. My neighbor, Arthur, used to complain about constant headaches and feeling sluggish. He swore he drank enough, but when his doctor pointed out his mild dehydration, Arthur started carrying a water bottle everywhere and making a conscious effort to sip throughout the day. Within weeks, his headaches were gone, his energy levels were up, and he even found he was sleeping better. It was such a small change, but it made an enormous difference to his quality of life. These first 2 reasons, the need for purpose and adequate hydration, might seem minor on their own, but when ignored, they combine to chip away at our longevity and vitality. Now that we've discussed the importance of purpose and proper hydration, let's move on to something equally critical that many of us unknowingly get wrong. Continuing our journey into the surprising factors affecting how long and how well we live. Our third reason is one that many of us, with the best intentions, might be getting wrong. It's the over-reliance on purely gentle exercise and the critical underestimation of strength training. We're often told that walking is great. And indeed it is. Regular walks are fantastic for cardiovascular health, fresh air, and mood. But here's the often missed point. Walking alone isn't enough to counteract the natural loss of muscle mass that occurs as we age, a process known as sarcopenia. After the age of 30, we can lose between 3% and 8% of our muscle mass per decade, and this accelerates significantly after 60. This isn't just about looking strong, it's about staying strong enough to live independently, to carry groceries, to get up from a chair easily, and most importantly, to prevent falls. When our muscles weaken, our balance deteriorates. Our bones become more fragile because they're not being stressed enough to stay dense, and our metabolism slows down, making weight management harder. Without adequate muscle, everyday tasks become a struggle, and the risk of injury from a fall skyrockets, which can lead to a rapid decline in overall health and independence. Strength training isn't just for bodybuilders or young people. It's absolutely vital for us. Even more so as we age. It helps us maintain and even rebuild precious muscle, strengthening our bones, improving our balance and coordination, and boosting our metabolism. This means more energy, better control over our weight, and a significantly reduced risk of falls and fractures. It's the single most effective way to maintain functional independence well into our later years. Now, you might be thinking, I can't lift heavy weights. And you don't have to. Strength training can be incredibly simple and effective using just your own body weight, resistance bands, or light dumbbells. Think about exercises like chair squats, where you simply stand up and sit down from a sturdy chair without using your hands, or wall push-ups, where you lean against a wall and push yourself away, lifting light hand weights while watching television, or doing bicep curls with a couple of soup cans, can make a real difference. The key is consistency and progressive overload, meaning, as you get stronger, you gradually increase the resistance or repetitions. Always start slow, listen to your body, and if you have any health concerns, chat with your doctor before beginning a new exercise routine. But please, don't shy away from it. My aunt, Mary, used to be very frail, worried about falling every time she walked across a room. Her doctor suggested some simple strength exercises. She started with chair squats and resisted band exercises twice a week. Slowly, she built up her strength. Now, she's walking with much more confidence, even carrying her own groceries, and her energy levels have dramatically improved. It's truly transformative. Now, let's turn our attention to our fourth surprising reason. A realm that science is only just beginning to fully understand, but one that has a profound impact on our entire being. It's ignoring the vital health of our gut. We often think of our gut simply as the place where food gets digested, but it's so much more. Our gut is home to trillions of bacteria, fungi, and other microbes, collectively known as the microbiome. This bustling internal ecosystem plays a monumental role in nearly every aspect of our health, from digesting food and absorbing nutrients to influencing our immune system, our mood, and even our brain function. When this delicate balance in our gut is disrupted, perhaps by a diet high in processed foods, sugar, or unhealthy fats, or by stress, certain medications, or simply the aging process itself, it can lead to what's called dysbiosis, an imbalance where harmful bacteria start to outnumber the beneficial ones. This imbalance can lead to chronic low-grade inflammation throughout the body, which is a key driver of many age-related diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, and even neurological conditions like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Beyond that, a compromised gut means we're not absorbing vital nutrients as effectively, which can leave us feeling fatigued, lacking energy, and struggling with cognitive clarity. It can also weaken our immune system, making us more susceptible to infections and illnesses. Common signs of an unhappy gut include persistent bloating, gas, indigestion, constipation or diarrhea, food sensitivities, and even skin issues or unexplained fatigue. So, how do we nurture this incredibly important internal garden? It largely comes down to what we feed it. First, load up on fiber-rich whole foods fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. These are the prebiotics that feed your beneficial gut bacteria. Second, incorporate fermented foods into your diet. Plain yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and kombucha are fantastic sources of probiotics, which introduce beneficial bacteria directly into your gut. Try to reduce highly processed foods, sugary snacks, and unhealthy fats, as these can feed the bad bacteria and promote inflammation. Hydration, as we discussed earlier, is also crucial for healthy digestion. It's not about expensive supplements initially, but rather about foundational dietary changes. My friend, David, struggled for years with chronic indigestion and a general feeling of sluggishness. He assumed it was just part of getting older. But after reading about gut health, he started incorporating more vegetables, fermented foods like yogurt, and less processed snacks into his daily routine. Within a couple of months, his digestion improved dramatically, his energy levels soared, and he even noticed a lift in his mood. It showed him just how interconnected everything inside us truly is. These factors, the need for strength and the vitality of our gut, are powerful yet often overlooked keys to unlocking a longer, more energetic life. Next, we'll dive into the fifth and final reason, one that is perhaps the most pervasive and silently damaging of all. And now, for our fifth and arguably most pervasive reason why many don't live past 81, that often hides in plain sight and is frequently dismissed as just part of aging, the unseen. Cumulative burden of chronic stress and persistently poor sleep. In our busy lives, especially as we navigate the complexities of later life, perhaps dealing with health challenges, financial worries, or the loss of loved ones, stress can become a constant companion. And a good night's sleep can feel like a rare luxury. We often shrug them off, thinking, "Oh, I'm just stressed," or "I guess I don't need as much sleep as I used to." But this couldn't be further from the truth. And these two factors are profoundly detrimental to our longevity and quality of life. Let's talk about chronic stress first. Stress isn't just a feeling. It's a physiological response that, when prolonged, wreaks havoc on almost every system in our body. When we're under constant stress, our bodies produce more cortisol, the stress hormone. While cortisol is helpful in short bursts, chronic high levels lead to persistent inflammation, suppress our immune system, increase blood pressure, contribute to heart disease, accelerate cellular aging, and even shrink the part of our brain responsible for memory and learning. It leaves us feeling exhausted, irritable, and vulnerable to illness. Think of it like constantly running a marathon without proper rest. Eventually, your body simply breaks down. This pervasive, low-level anxiety and worry, which many of us might not even recognize as stress anymore, believing it's just normal life, is a silent killer of our vitality. Then, there's sleep, our body's nightly repair shop. It's during deep sleep that our bodies repair cells, consolidate memories, clear out toxins from our brains, and regulate hormones. When we consistently get poor quality or insufficient sleep, often defined as less than 7 to 8 hours for most adults, we deprive our bodies of this essential maintenance. The consequences are far-reaching impaired cognitive function, making it harder to think clearly and remember things, weakened immunity, leaving us open to infections, increased risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease, and significant impacts on our mood and emotional resilience. We become more susceptible to depression and anxiety. It's a vicious cycle. Stress makes it harder to sleep, and poor sleep makes us more stressed and less able to cope. Many believe they can get by on less sleep, but the cumulative sleep debt significantly impacts long-term health. It's not about how many hours we can survive on, but how many hours our bodies need to truly thrive and repair. So, how do we tackle these twin burdens first? Stress management isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for longevity. This means finding healthy outlets for stress. It could be practicing mindfulness or meditation for a few minutes each day, spending time in nature, engaging in hobbies you love, listening to calming music, or simply carving out quiet time for yourself. Connecting with friends and family, and maintaining strong social bonds is also a powerful buffer against stress. Don't be afraid to say no to commitments that overextend you, and learn to delegate where you can. 4. Sleep. Establish a consistent sleep schedule. Even on weekends, create a relaxing bedtime routine, a warm bath, reading a book, gentle stretching, or listening to soothing music. Make your bedroom a sanctuary, dark, quiet, and cool. Avoid screens, phones, tablets, TVs, for at least an hour before bed. as the blue light can disrupt your body's natural sleep rhythm. Cut back on caffeine and heavy meals late in the evening. If you're consistently struggling with sleep or overwhelming stress, please talk to your doctor. There are effective strategies and support available. Remember, prioritizing these elements isn't selfish. It's a vital investment in your long-term health and happiness. My friend, Susan, was constantly complaining of exhaustion and brain fog. She attributed it to her demanding life, but never truly addressed her constant worry and broken sleep. She started a simple evening routine, turning off her phone by 9 p.m. and reading, and also joined a meditation group. Within months, her sleep improved dramatically, and she felt a lightness she hadn't experienced in years. Her memory sharpened, and she had more energy than ever. It really showed her the profound connection between peace of mind and physical vitality. So, we've talked about 5 truly surprising reasons that might be limiting our journey to a long and vibrant life. We began with the profound importance of finding and nurturing a strong sense of purpose, that inner spark that truly gets us going and keeps our spirits high. Then we looked at the silent and often overlooked drain of chronic dehydration, showing how simply drinking enough pure water can transform our energy and bodily functions. We then explored why relying solely on gentle exercise isn't enough, and how incorporating even simple strength training can be a game changer for maintaining muscle, bone density, and crucial independence as we age. After that, we ventured into the fascinating world of our gut, understanding how its delicate balance influences everything from our immunity to our mood and our ability to truly absorb the goodness from our food. And finally, we just discussed the immense and often underestimated toll that chronic stress and poor sleep take on our bodies and minds, reminding us that rest and peace are not luxuries, but fundamental pillars of health. It might feel like a lot to take in, but please don't feel overwhelmed. The most important takeaway is this: you have more control over your longevity and vitality than you might think. Remember, small, consistent changes can truly make a big, life-altering difference to your health and happiness. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Pick just one of these areas that resonated most with you, and start there. Take one small step today, and then another tomorrow. Your body and mind are incredibly resilient, and they will respond to the positive attention you give them. I truly hope this conversation has given you some new insights and renewed hope for living your best life, full of energy and joy, for many years to come. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these reasons. Which one surprised you the most? Or perhaps you have a personal story about how one of these areas has impacted your own health journey. Please share your experiences and insights in the comments section below. Your wisdom helps others in our wonderful community. If you found this video helpful and encouraging, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. We're building a community here dedicated to living vibrantly at every age, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. Join us for more practical tips and inspiring conversations designed to help you live your best life at every age.